Sighing heavily, I threw myself on the wooden chair outside the small coffee shop where my best friend Shinari was already sitting, waiting for me. I placed my second-hand laptop on the small coffee table and some documents which I have been holding in my hand since the morning. After getting rejected from the 7th job interview, I am feeling dejected and gusting. I don't think so I'll be able to find any job. I think I am bone cursed, I said, pressing my tiny fingers on my forehead. Why don't you get a job as a barista or nanny or maybe an ordinary job in a bar? She said, looking at me through her laptop. Do you think there is some place in the area where I didn't apply for a job? I tried almost everywhere, but as you know, I am bone cursed, I said, drinking the glass of water which was placed on the table. Actually, I found a job for you, but the pay is not enough. It's meager. And she paused, putting her laptop between her thighs. And say further, I am listening, I said, putting my hands on my cheek. Actually, it's in club, the Malays club. It's nearby our house. She said, looking at me with her big hazel brown eyes. Well, if that's the only issue, I guess I'm okay with that, I said, taking a deep breath. It doesn't bother me anymore if it's a club job. I know earlier I used to hate and bar jobs because of the atmosphere and different people being dancing with and so on, but right now I have no other option than accepting this offer. I need the job because I know I won't be able to afford food in couple of weeks once my savings few dollars run out. How long I'll be burdened on Shinari? It's been 10 years since I have been living with her in a mini apartment. I was brought up in an orphanage and then a kind lady, Shinhari's mom, brought me to her house where she treated me as her own daughter. Before that, my life was worse in an orphanage. Then, after I was adopted, I came to know that there was a word love which existed in this universe. Shinari's mom was a single mother and she used to work in a coffee shop to fulfill her daily expenditures and Shinari's school fees. But sadly, it's been 2 years since she passed away. Sometimes I used to think that why she adopted me when she was hardly able to give a better life to her own daughter. But later Shinari told me that her mother used to talk about a girl named Ryan whose dad left her in an orphanage as he married another woman. Years later I came to know that girl was me. She was my own mother and Shinari was my stepsister as she also married to another man after dad left for her another woman. Shinari never treated me as stepsister. In fact, she loves me more than anyone else. Well, she still doesn't know that she is my stepsister because I never told her. I am afraid. What if she started to hate me after knowing this? I don't think so I'll be able to tell her in my whole life because I don't wanna lose my best friend. Are you sure? I mean, you have no issue working in bar? She asked again just to reassure it. I made up my mind I need this job. I pushed the rising tears. Okay, then I will submit important information, she said, clicking on the ad and then clicked on a submit button. Here it is done, she said with a toothy smile. I sighed and then smiled at her before she shut down her laptop, the sound of her laptop pinging. She opened the laptop fully and clicked on the email. Shinari squealed and looked at me. What happened? I frowned. You have been approved at this job, isn't it? Was quick, she said, clapping her hands in excitement. Tears dropped on my cheeks as I leaned for a hug. She hugged me more tightly, making me chuckle. Then we both shut down our laptops and headed back to our houses after she paid her coffee bill. It was almost 4:30 o'clock in the evening while I was in Shinari's room as I was getting ready. I don't have some nice dress to wear as usual, so I borrowed a nice dress from her. It was a black short dress which was hung to me perfectly. I did light makeup on my face with glossy lip gloss. Ready? I said, rubbing my lips while looking at myself in the mirror. Meanwhile, Shinari entered the room, who was wearing that tank top along with jeans. You look stunning, she said, looking at me from head to toe. I smiled and then grabbing our bags, we left the bar. Finally, we reached the bar where we were inspected for almost half an hour only to make sure if we were actually called for a job interview or if we were some kind of thieves. The way the two tall burgers were checking us was making me feel that I was not a thief. Even if you are most innocent person in the universe, you will think of yourself as a thief if you will be inspected like this. They double check our IDs and finally we were allowed to enter in. Once we were in, a sigh of relief left my mouth as the warmth engulfed my freezing body. There was a counter in a gold color where lady was sitting. We approached her while I was so nervous at the time cause my life literally depended on this job. Hello, we were called here for job interview. She said smiling at the lady with blonde hair. She looked up at us and then scoffed, chewing on her gum. Baby, have some guts to say that you are called here for a job as a servant. She said, listening the last word with a sarcastic smile. I really feel annoying at the moment. Shinari held my hand and gently rubbed it only to make me feel at ease. I forced a smile at her with teary eyes. Go in a room in the left side which is hidden behind the black curtain and change into the uniform. I mean waitress uniform, she said, making a pout. I nodded and headed to the room. After some time, I came back after changing into a black tight dress that reached above my knees. It was showing. First, I thought not to wear, but I had no other option. I came out in the hallway. Shinari was waiting for me anxiously. Are you okay with this, Vian? She said, looking at me. I nodded, no less little, but not to wail the lady. The large golden door on right side, the bar is behind it, she said, pointing at the huge golden door. We both nodded and then taking a deep breath, we both walked inside the golden gate. My eyes widened as it seemed like that we had entered into another world. There was a lot of people who were dancing and enjoying the night. It was my first time to be in a place like this. I was feeling comfortable after I noticed traces of some people on me. Mustering up some courage, we both walked to the counter. Shinari, who told the head waiter about me, I first smiled while he stared at me which made me more. He then handed me a tray full of names, which I will have to serve to the table number 5, where a lot of people were sitting. I walked to them with shaking legs. Without looking at them, I placed them on the shimmery table, and I was about to go back to the counter of fetching more drinks when one of them began making me sit. You look new here, he said, playing with a strand of his hair. I tried to couldn't punch him, but I was not able. Tears were rolling down from my eyes while their laugh was echoing in my ear. Suddenly, Shinari came towards me and pulled me towards him in person, and holding my hand, she me to the outside of the bar after I changed into my dress. She called for a taxi while rubbing my hand, and then we both sat in. I hugged her and started to cry heavily. Why you remain quiet? You will have to speak for yourself, Vayani. No one will come to you, she said. Promise me that you will face the hardships instead of crying and being innocent, she said, wiping off my tears. I promised her while sobbing. Excuse me, please stop the taxi in front of this mall. We will do some window shopping. I hope it will boost up your mind, she said, smiling. I smiled back. Shinari really knows me how to lift up my mood. I love going to malls and try different expensive dresses. Of course, I don't buy, but I like wearing them. The taxi driver stopped the taxi in front of the huge mall. We both got off from the taxi, and after paying him the rent, we both headed to the mall. We were just roaming around when Shinari held my hand and took me inside the big outlet shop. Wear whatever you want, she said, winking at me while I winked back. It's been 20 minutes that I have been picking the dresses by Shinari, making the cut. The shopkeeper smiled. Once I was done picking up almost 6 dresses, I entered the trial room. The door was not shut off exactly, so I opened it and entered inside. While I was trying, I looked back at the mirror and noticed my eyes widened and I was when the person jumped out from the curtain and strong hand moved, making me shiver. Shivering and tears were falling out of my eyes. He was a handsome man with lip piercing. If he wouldn't My mouth, I will for sure fall for him, but right now I was too scared. But the man was just staring at me. How long he gonna stare at my face? Wait, is he gonna kiss me? Oh, dumb girl, stop thinking stupid things. Hey, you are beautiful from interesting, he said, staring into my eyes. I was trying to speak out through his phone, give his mom messing up his hair with his other hand, me to leave you so that you could go and tell my rivals that I am behind in a trial room, he asked, raising his eyebrows. I shook my head quickly while tears were escaping my eyes. You want me to trust you? He let out a scoff in my name which made me feel dizzy, and in no time I felt harm. You opened your eyes slowly and looked around with a blurry vision. It was definitely not your tiny apartment, instead, it was a huge mansion. Your eyes fell on your surroundings and they grew wider when you saw men in black suits were standing on both sides of the sofa on which you were laying in a doorstep. One of them approached you and your head fell down. They all started to laugh, making you feel sick. You looked right in front of you and your jaw dropped when you witnessed the same man in black suit sitting on the master chair, crossing over other. He was staring at you, which made you tremble. One of them came nearer to that man, and though he spoke out, he had bandage on his black shirt which says his name was Jimin. He was a little short, but he is scary too, which was making you scared. Boss, as the girl knows about, I think there is no zookeeper here. He was speaking good, but Headboss interrupted him by adjusting him to keep quiet. You shook your head and started to cry heavily. No, please don't, she said and cried that a person would wake up to shut your mouth. Hey, are you mad? Why you are in us to make us all deaf? He yelled out, making you gulp down. The head boss got up and walked to you with his black shoes clicking on the floor. You tried to get up but lost your all balance. But before full wipeout occurred, the head boss held your hand and was him. You looked at him with your heart racing more than ever. He made you stood straight and he moved his face and which made you pissed off. You brought everyone in the living room went into a coma, including head boss who was rubbing his cheeks, throwing at you. Your eyes grew wider when you realized which action had been occurred. Suddenly you unslipped from Jimin, which made you see the stars circling around you. He yelled out, making you feel small and scared. Meanwhile, another guy came to you. Man, who do you think you are? Do you have any idea what cost of action you have done? You know who is the person he is? Jeon Jungkook, the man who leads the Mafia, the man whose name is enough to. He was interrupted by head boss. All you were only scared, you had nothing to do. If he was mafia, singer, magician, or dancer, you knew he was a dangerous, which was enough for you. You got some power, little bird. Interesting. He said, dangerously coming. Please let me go. Won't tell anyone about you. Please, I shut my mouth. I promise. You said, taking slow steps back. He let out a chuckle tightly. Do you take mafias as a joke? Do you think I will let you go after? No, Miss Ryan, you will have to pay. He said in his deep voice while looking deep into your eyes. But I am poor. How I will pay? You said being innocent. And how do you know my name? You said nervously. You really don't know about Mafia, hmm? He yelled again while messing up his hair. Relax, take her to my room. She will be my maid until the time I want to. He ordered in his deep voice. What do you want me to clean the whole mansion? Do you think I will work here as your maid? I know I am poor, but I also have some self respect. You yelled at him. Do you think you are in state to say no? He asked, raising his eyebrows. While everybody started to laugh out loudly, which made you roll your eyes, you thought for a while and you had to gulp down when you saw Jimin and he said, "Okay, I will work here as a maid, but it's my right to ask you how much you will pay me for this," you asked, looking at him with puppy eyes. They all let out a chuckle, including head boss. "I said it should," he said, listening the last word. "What, you want me to clean the whole mansion and in return you won't pay me? Are you kidding me?" you asked, looking at him in disbelief. Jungkook didn't say anything and dusted his room so that you could clean his room, and then he left. "Two bulky men held on to you. This brat boss wants me to clean his huge mansion and won't be paid in return. Like, seriously, am I joke to him? Cussing me in my mind, and these two bulky men there while I am having some fun, as I have put my weight of worry on them, making them more pissed off." Finally, they stopped in front of a huge room. The room was too big that 10 plus apartments can fit in the whole room. Me inside and fell on the floor. "The floor is too much clean that I can see even my face in it. That pighead wants me to clean the room, but it's already neat and clean. What would I clean? I'm so dumb, despite knowing the fact that he is dead." I called him jerk. "I will have to be more careful in the future, as not everyone can bear the reality. He is dead, but I will keep it to myself instead of telling him. What if he tied me from Monday? What if I insulted him in front of his men? No, no, I can't afford this." I was looking around while slowly walking back, but suddenly I bumped into someone. I tilted my head and jumped on the floor as it was Jimin guy. "Oh, he came here all of a sudden," I thought to myself, looking at him with eyes. "Don't you have eyes, stupid girl?" he muttered, making a weird face. "I'm sorry," I stuttered, and then I glanced at the floor where Jungkook was standing with his arms folded over his nicely built. I almost had a mini heart, cause he was staring right into my face. I forced a smile, being scared, and bowed down at him as Jimin was bowing at him. "I will assign her all the work, you go now," he said, his mysterious eyes. Jimin nodded and went outside. The headmaster came inside and staring at me for months. He sat on a wooden relaxing chair. "Bring me the red book from the bookshelf," he said, pointing at the bookshelf. "What?" I said, crunched my eyebrows, glaring at him. "You have guts to glare at me?" he asked, looking into my eyes. "No, no, I'm gonna get it," I said, being scared while forcing a smile. I walked to the bookshelf and grabbing a book, I walked back to him with slow steps. I extended a book to him with my hand, but instead of taking the book, he held my hand. My eyes widened while heartbeat raced faster. I tried to get up with my cheeks turning into tomato, but couldn't. Wait, she said that you want money for whom? Of course I know it's not for you, as you are not gonna find from here, he said. My heart literally did a backflip the way he said sweetheart, but letting it go, I spoke out. "For my sister, she really needs money. In fact, we both need it. We were searching for jobs too. She must be anxious and searching for me everywhere. Please, can you favor me? Please send her a letter which says I'm safe and sound, and also send her some money." I sat with my eyes bleeding, his right hand loosened. He took a deep sigh. "I will help you, but in return I need something too," he said, and suddenly his eyes softened. "I will obey you like a good girl. I'll clean your room and whole mansion," I said, looking at him. "Fall for me? Do you know why you are till now? You know why? Because the heart of this cold mafia feels warmth and peace around you. You know, no one dared to yell at me. You didn't only yell, but look at yourself. Because mafia is falling for you. I don't know, but why it's my genuine feelings for you. But still, if you don't love me back, I won't ask you," he said, staring deep into my eyes. I was shocked. I mean, the most dangerous mafia. Me, if I say that I don't like him back, it's a lie, cause my heart beats and my cheeks turn red, which he is around. So actually, I didn't know if I really like him or not. What made me most happy that he agreed to send letter and money to Shinari even if I am not with her. Still I want her to be happy. When I didn't reply him back, he got up and then left the room, making me feel confused. What do I say when I don't know myself? 9 months have been passed since you have been living in his mansion where you are not treated here as a maid anymore. Even you don't do anything in these 9 months, you became friendly to everyone. Jimin calls you his little angel as he treats you like his sister. Even everyone treats you like their little sister except Jungkook, his Lana, when you all are having food. Yeah, you adopted feeling for him. Even you confess to him you all are living happily now. We were sitting in the living room while Shinari and Jimin watching a movie hand in hand. Yeah, they both married a month ago, and now Shinari also lives with you. You looked at both of them with tears of happiness, and then you went to the kitchen to drink some water. Suddenly you felt a strong. You knew it was Jungkook before you turned around. Yeah, took you to his room while millions of butterflies fluttering in your stomach. 2 hours passed, he said.